Hi, welcome to my video. I'm Jennifer Roberts. You're catching me on my YouTube channel, True Divine 44. You can even get me on my Facebook page, True Divine 44. You can get me at The True Divine on Twitter and Instagram. Any likes, shares, subscribes, follows, greatly appreciated, and much love to everybody who's doing that thus far. This is part of the free content that I put out on a daily basis to help support your day, to help you guide the energies that you have within, to help support you in any decisions that you need to make. So take what resonates as it is general and leave what does not. So this is for the 13th of October 2020. And so we have again the Eight of Wands coming in. I don't know if that was yesterday or the day before. Messages flying back and forth. Now, some of these messages are going to try and trigger you onto a path that may not be worth taking. In that, with this Pentacles card here, you see him trying to keep control of his horse. I think his horse is trying to lead him to safety, picking up on something that shouldn't be passed on in the future, like a path, certain dangers along the path that you're being asked to go upon or instigated to go on or act upon. So be careful of that. There's lots of messages on the collective stage going backwards and forwards, huge moving parts happening between those guys. Basically, you know, all working together but against each other at the same time. They have a weird, I want to explain this that I picked up on, of they have a weird reverence for each other, in that they know that without each other, none of them actually exist. By each other, I mean like the controllers of the world, the people who are making what we're all going through happen right now. And so they have a weird codependency, in that they don't really dislike each other in the main, but then they have the little gangs within, but those little gangs rely on the other gangs that control the other parts. So it's weird that you say, why don't they just take them all down? Well, because there is a certain one, reverence to the fact that, you know, their old families passed down through generations more than people realize, and two, because they have a codependency upon their survival. Means that right now, until they can move certain parts, they have to have a codependency on the other moving parts on the collective stage, those that be, the powers that be, and those that control. So that's why you see that, you know, there isn't the, you know, if we were able to get access, a lot of normal people would just shut things down, would just stop things happening. We wonder why it doesn't work like that. Well, because there is this huge codependency in the system. So we see that, but at the same time, they argue. At the same time, they still want to have dominance over each other. So there's huge messages here flying backwards and forwards. More disclosures coming about messages today. So if you pick up on that, please leave a comment. You know, I love knowing things. Gemini all the way. And so keep an eye on that, yeah. And keep an eye on that in your individual life. In that these messages, you know, might be coming as it's seemingly what you want, seemingly what you desire, but you know it's not good for you. And you're still trying to fight with the horse to go in the direction that is not good for you. We have the Magician card again on the next one. We haven't seen the Magician for a little while, and so this is clarified by the moon. There is huge amounts of dark frequency, low frequency magic going on right now on the collective stage, and that is filtering down very definitely in our individual lives, because we're seeing people being triggered and tricked by this type of magic into certain actions that affect us all. And so that keep an eye on that in your individual life. It is also to harness what they are harnessing. Harness the moon's energy. It's so strong this month. The veil is so thin. Use the as above, so below that this magician knows about. He knows the connection of the two. Use the planetary alignments. Learn what energies are around you from the planetary alignments on each day, and use them in your below, in your physical world. All of the stresses, experiences, bliss, and all of it is on the table for you to use. If you look at your experiences from a different perspective, you can use them like the magician and harness the energy of the moon. That blue moon's coming up, obviously, just meaning that it's two full moons in 1 month. But there is huge energies being harnessed throughout this month. October is very definitely hot for the energies and the magic that I'm picking up on, and I'm sure others that in my field would agree. So we need to do the same thing. We need to educate ourselves on the energies above us and bring them into our below. We need to know that there is this infinite cycle that we see here on the top of the magician's head. We see all of the tools, the cup, the pentacle, the sword, the wand. We see all of those things, all of those experiences, all of those elements of ourself, the water, the fire, the earth, the air, used to harness the energies around and bring in what is good, rather than just allowing these people to cast their magic and accepting the what is bad. You see the hippo on this moon card, the hippo representing a very spiritual creature, but very protective of its own. And so you see that on the collective stage, even though they're from opposing sides, opposing gangs, so to speak, they're still part of their own because there is this codependency. And so we need to stick together. We need to understand the powers that we hold in our collective numbers and the powers that we hold when we absolutely use our elemental magic to put a different frequency back at them, rather than being triggered by the frequencies they're putting out and giving them the action that they want. To clarify that, we have the Temperance card in reverse. The magic that is being put out right now, the trickery that is going on right now in mainstream media, from the collective stage and within our individual lives, is not to be underestimated at all. It's knocking things out of balance, and they're doing this deliberately, and they're doing this on a frequency level. And people coming into your individual life that are demonstrating this trickery, these slick words, but you know that your spirit feels unbalanced, it feels upside down. You can't really be the alchemist that the Temperance card is, because it's blocked. There's deceit here also with this moon card. There's trickery, there's lies. Be aware of that and cut it out of your life, please, because we need to be able to isolate these people out of our lives so we can send out the optimum frequency to end this bullshit for once and for all. If we continue to put up with this kind of trickery, this kind of cloaking and illusion in our individual lives, then we can only expect more of that from the collective stage and the powers that be that we allow to be there. The next card is the Seven of Pentacles, with the Seven of Cups in reverse. Too many options, too many distractions, too much thought, too much mind here, far too much mind. There's a confusion here. It makes 14, which then makes the 5. The changing point, the precipice point, maybe some cases the conflict point in people's individual lives. Watch out in relationships today, because you might be seeing through some of the trickery, some of the illusion that you have been putting up with for too long, and you might be really turned off your kilter, off your balance point, because of that, because it's something that you've known, but you get some kind of confirmation through a message today, or through a message through spirit, even through your true essence, through your higher self, that really does confirm what has been going on in the relationship with this moon card. And so right now we see, if you're in that situation, we see how much you've built up within that relationship, how much you've worked on it, how much earth and pentacles, the home, the car, the tide, finances, and it puts you into this spiral of confusion of which way do I go. Your emotions get knocked off kilter. With on the bottom of the deck, we've got the Knight of Wands. Now, this does speak of a lot of people moving away from their homes in mass numbers. So I don't know what's going on there. I know there's a state in America that's already been happening, but this feels like somewhere else, somewhere new, somewhere different. We see a lot of people making plans to relocate, maybe because of things they know, maybe just because of intuition, and maybe because they're seeing the truth about relationships that they've been in that haven't been of a matching frequency. So we're seeing a change of residence, a moving away, and it happens quite quickly. So be aware of that, and be okay with that. Be still with that. Allow yourself to if you want to go with the Trumpism, drain the swamp, so to speak. If we're not doing it in our personal lives, then we can't expect anybody or anything to be doing it on the collective stage, because we'll just feed into it more if we're not willing to do it in our individual lives. Now, where's the bottom of the deck for the other one? Here it is, the Hermit card. The Hermit card has been a staple right now over the last few weeks of this continuous need to look within, this continuous need to search within to see what is hooking you into situations that aren't good for you, what is allowing you to accept certain behaviors or display certain behaviors, certain addictions that are not good for you. What was the seed that was planted that got you to the point of where you're at now, where you're struggling and your outside life is looking a little bit chaotic or unbalanced, displaced. So the Hermit reminds us that this continuous inner work is a continuous process. We're always taking in information. Every single day we wake up, we're taking in information. We need to be clearing ourselves with the energy of this Hermit card to make sure that we're not allowing things to take root within us, in our inner grounds, that we're clearing it out quickly on a daily basis, that we're giving it no space, no time, and we're only allowing things that are good for us to take root, that are good for us to keep us balanced, to take us forward with experience and knowledge and wisdom. But it's a continuous work, the Hermit card. I love the Hermit card. And it can be so debilitating for people to even think of doing the work of the Hermit. But with the energy work, with breath work, with spiritual guidance, I can help you with that if you want to book in for a session. But other than that, just take it on yourself. You need to be doing this yourself anyway, to look within on a daily basis to see what seeds have been planted, what labels, what limitations, even those that you've planted in yourself, and root them out while they're still small, while they're not so painful to get rid of. And it always takes looking back as to where this got in, why you allowed this to get in the first place. So there's lots of change here, dispute today, messages, clarification, and confusion. So again, I put out an oracle card this morning, and it was this card, the Witness. And so, it asks you to be still in chaotic times. It asks you to be still and allow yourself that time and space to get that clarity. So go and watch that video if this resonates with you, because that'll really help you guide your day. That'll really help you have some input as to how to go forward with this situation in your life. So if you would like a private reading with me, you can get in touch at truedivinemedia@gmail.com. You can hit me up on private messenger on Facebook, truedivine44, and you can do spiritual guidance sessions, a reading, or energy work. And we go real deep, real full on, and get you all balanced out, get you all clarified up, and taking you forward on your best possible path. You are beautiful, expansive souls. Thank you so much for listening. I appreciate you all, and I appreciate all the comments. I try and reply as quickly as I can throughout the day in between jobs. So much love. Stay balanced. Stay whole. Mwah.